All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm going to get straight into it. So, here with me today is my friend Kevin, who is a talent acquisition leader. He is here to do a tell all on what it takes to get a job right now. I am so excited to have him here. So, let's get him on screen. Hey, Kevin, how's it going?
It is going wonderfully. Excitedly nervous. Excited though. Super
So,
excited.
for everyone who's tuning in, this is Kevin's very first live. This is the first time that he has been live. And we already have like Ariel's here, Diana's here. Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. How is everyone? Cole's here. And some of these just say LinkedIn users. So if I'm not saying your name, I see you. I just don't see who you are.
We see you. We see you. We know you're there.
But we are going to comment like we love you for being here and having a party.
Yes.
This
Hell
is like,
yes.
so like
Thank you.
high key, obviously. We're here to talk about job search.
Yes.
Low key, let's talk about what this really is. Strategies, solutions, snark. 3 things.
I mean,
And
also though, would it be anything without a little dancing to get us started?
so what you guys couldn't see was when the countdown was timing and there's like the music, like like rocking out.
Hey, strategy, solutions, and snark. Dancing goes
So
in that too.
that's the goals. And I have high expectations in everyone here. So we're going to be throwing things out to you guys, but I want it to be like a party in the comments. So if we haven't met you yet, tell us where you're from. What job are you looking for? Like, who knows? Maybe someone watching can help you. So let us know what kind of job you're looking for, where you're looking for it, and we can all help each other. So I'm so excited. So why don't I just quickly throw it to Kevin before I get into like grilling him for the tell-all. So Kevin, like just for anyone who doesn't know you already, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. So before I start, I have to say this is the first time I've ever been live on anything. Kind of feels like I'm on a TV show. Kind of weird. I've always wanted to do 2 things before I do talk about myself, which is really boring. So really fast. Okay, first. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Okay, they're not watching. They don't LinkedIn. I just always wanted to do that. So that's 1. 2, I would be remiss if I didn't give some real quick resources for some great friends that are doing amazing things. It'll be really, really fast. I'm not trying to steal the show. Really quickly, Jamal Marshall. He has an awesome podcast that recently came out. It's called Listen Then Speak. He delivers beneath the surface, amazing chats with folks. Please check out Jamal Marshall. Rich Cardona has a podcast called Leadership Locker. I've listened to 3 of them. He's an ex-military, ex-Amazon that tells it like it is. It's amazing. 3, Adam Posner has an amazing podcast. I'm sure a lot of you are aware with it. He talks with a lot of talent acquisition folks. He recently had guests on as Grant Cardone, Jordan Harbinger, and then lastly, Joel Lalji, the Headhunter Hideout, where he talks with recruitment leaders. He recently had Lou Adler and Brett Miller. I'm sure you guys see his stuff out there. So I just wanted to plug those 4. I'll continue to be plugging folks, but I just wanted to do that. Okay, about me real quick. Really fast. So I'm Kevin, of course. Nice to see everybody. Formerly at Amazon. I have had about a 4 to 5 year career in talent acquisition within different mediums. So in healthcare, I was a people operations specialist where I really specialized on the interview process and the sourcing aspects. And at Amazon, where everything is all about scope and scale, I had anywhere between 150 to 200 candidates in my pipeline at all times. Helping with anything from so I started in recruitment marketing, where kind of like the actual job is created. So I understand how the requisition's made, how the budget gets flowed to it, how headcount works, how recruitment marketers put the posts out there, how you apply. Like I really understand the background process from that. And then from there, I went to the talent acquisition side, of course, where it's more on the sourcing, recruitment, interviewing, pre-brief, debrief, and so forth. So I am hoping with all that experience, and honestly, I'm semi-smart because I learned from my own experiences, but I'm smarter because I learned from other people's experience that are way smarter than me. So I'm hoping to give a lot of my own knowledge and their knowledge and wisdom out and really just help folks get jobs, because that's honestly all I care about right now.
Oh my gosh. And honestly, like you already hit on one of the like most important things through any juncture in your career is just looking to the people who know more than you to learn from. Like, if you want to stand out, if you want to be the best candidate, you want to be the person who gets promoted, you want to be the best leader.
That's right.
Find people who are better than you. And I know that it hurts your ego sometimes, but like, I attribute it to everything that I have achieved, and Kevin too. And I mean, we're on to something.
We are onto something.
Just gonna throw that out there. I just want to do a quick shout out to DL Grimes. So I don't have my glasses, and if I get too close to the computer, you guys can't see me. But he is a junior designer with an emphasis on research, and he is in Tampa. So if you pop like what you're looking for, I will showcase you. So if you are joining us live, like pop those in, I'm going to put it up, and I'm going to do my best to just kind of showcase throughout. Though obviously when we're talking, it's just me and Kevin. And
to that point too, really fast before you go on, I also know a lot of great leaders. I go in this clubhouse room with like 100 recruiters, hiring managers, founders. If there's something I don't know, I am going to connect you with where you need to go. So please feel free to add those questions, reach out to me, and I want to connect you to where you need to go. Yeah. So, and for everyone who's watching on LinkedIn, Kevin is tagged. So if you haven't already, go follow him, go connect with him. If you're watching on YouTube, I didn't actually include the link to his profile, but I'm going to drop it into the comments once this live is done. But you can also just look him up by name. You can copy and paste it. I put Junior on there because there's too many Kevin Logans, Kevin Logan Jr. It makes you easier to find, and then we can stalk you for all of your awesome content. And like, he just puts out awesome content in general, and that's one of the reasons why we are friends, because we actually met through Ariel, who is here, and we both got on Zoom, and I was like, legit, like, we need to be friends. Like, I'm gonna make you my friend. Not optional. When I meet someone who like is my worthy rival in snarkery, like, we're gonna be friends. Fast friends. Okay. Awesome. So let's just like get into it. So I know some people are here, they got meetings, they don't have all the time in the world. Maybe they're just like, I just want to come for a couple tidbits, I'm going to bounce. So let's get straight into something that's so juicy. Kevin, right now, if you are looking for a job right now, what are the top 5 tips that you have for job seekers that are actively on the market, passively on the market, stealthily in the market right now? Yep. So I'll be quite honest. When I was thinking about this, as I got this question before, I wanted, not to take this back and age myself here, but I thought about Puff Daddy when he had this show called Making the Band. There was a rapper called Dylon, okay? And when you would ask him who the best rapper was, he would say Dylon, 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 and Dylon, okay? So I wanted my 5 answers today to be LinkedIn, 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 and LinkedIn, but I have 5. So cool. The first one is, it is LinkedIn. And it's 2021. If you're not on LinkedIn, people, which if you're watching, you're probably on LinkedIn, you don't exist. It is the shortest shortcut to a shortcut that there can be to getting you in front of the right people at the right time. So my advice to you is to get engaged and active on LinkedIn. And so in addition, me being a recruiter, I utilize this really awesome tool called LinkedIn Recruiter. And so I utilize searches via keywords and Boolean searches, these semi-big words that we utilize to find you. So here's what I recommend you do today. If you're not doing it already, find out who your target market is. Who do you want to get in front of? Do you want to get in front of the company? Are there specific people? There should be specific people. Who are the specific people that you need to get in touch with to give your thought leadership so that you can get yourself into an interview? I can tell you a quick story, anecdotal, that will make this make sense. I had a client of mine about 3 months ago. She started with me. She would get on LinkedIn and she would give the thank yous, thanks for sharing kind of a deals, like very surface level engagement. I got with her and she had 3 companies, of which were her destination companies, dream companies she's always wanted to work with. She'd been reaching out to a CEO a couple times, nothing. I told her and I showed her how to engage, which is to really look at the post, read the post. If there's a question in the post, answer the post, answer the question. Oh my gosh, yes. And so really engage, really pique interest, really show them that you have your own creative original thoughts. She did that. for a month and a half. And after a month and a half, this CEO that she's been trying to reach out to, a LinkedIn lurker who never ever engaged on any of her content, didn't like, didn't comment, nothing, out of the blue, reached out to her and was like, hey, I've been paying attention to you, and wow, let's schedule this meeting. And as of now, she technically has an offer on the table.
No way.
In a month and a half, in a 1.5 months of just changing the way that she engages, of creating a more robust profile on LinkedIn, is now getting the opportunity she needs. So real quick, that's one.
Yeah.
Two, to add to that is, so because people like me, independent recruiters utilize LinkedIn Recruiter, we search you out. So in order to come up well on the searches, no, Tiffany, not a lurker, but in order to come up on the searches, I would highly recommend that you look at 3 to 5 job descriptions for jobs that you're thinking you're going to, that you want to work in or work for. And then you take those job descriptions, each one individually, and you put it into a website called Word Clouds. What Word Clouds is going to do is it's going to extract the jargon, phraseology, the big keywords that are in these job descriptions.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend you go to your LinkedIn, your resume, and you litter these keywords in there. That's what's going to help you be searchable in LinkedIn Recruiter so that you can do less of the work. So it's getting that, it's that Pareto's rule. What can I do 20% to get the 80% result? This is one of those things.
Oh, you know what? I don't want to interrupt you, but I have a hack and I want to ask you about this.
Please.
Do you know, so LinkedIn has this create a resume feature, which neither of us is going to recommend you use.
I don't, but yes.
But when you go in, you put in your job title and it tells you what skills you should have in your profile.
Oh, so I haven't used it. If you know more, please. I haven't used it, but somebody was just telling me about this the other day.
Yeah. So LinkedIn, I think that they scrape the jobs data from like LinkedIn jobs, and they'll recommend to you the skills that are often associated with that job. Now, some jobs, this does not, like someone actually on YouTube tried it and she was a teacher and like nothing came up. So it's not going to work for everyone.
Okay.
But I know like tech jobs, every single title that I have tried or I've tried with a client has come up with a whole bunch. I still think that it's like, do what Kevin did, but like that might be a little bit of a hack. Just going to throw that out there.
No, definitely. I think accentuation, and I think it would definitely accentuate that. But I just say, like, because I worked at Amazon, I know how much money they put into writing a job description and then the keywords, because they want those candidates to be the ones that they search for. And those are, you know, they're going to have those specific keywords in their profile. So that's why I recommend from the job description. But again, to accentuate, I mean, LinkedIn is going to have great data too. They post, they're a huge vendor for lots of huge companies when it comes to posting jobs.
Yeah.
Definitely. Wholly agree.
Well, and you have up to 50 skills on your profile.
You do. And I would recommend use every single one.
And use all the real estate and work in as many as you can.
Absolutely. So to that point, so again, you'll see how these are building blocks. The next thing is, please do personalize all your communication. Please, please, please. Okay, I'm a recruiter. I have like 250 messages I haven't been able to read in my inbox. But oftentimes when folks are reaching out to me, they're not reaching out with anything in terms of, hey, Kev, checked out your profile. Super cool banner. Hey, Kev, checked out your experience. Wow, I used to volunteer at this place too. Or, you know, it's incredible. I find it incredibly easy. So what was awesome is a gentleman today, I'm going to look at my phone because I want to shout him out really fast. A gentleman today I think his name is Lane Washington, I'm not even joking. This is crazy. This is the first person that has actually sent me a message that I could tell you looked at my profile.
Seriously?
And you said, I swear.
And you're in recruiting at Amazon and everyone's trying to get in there.
Lane Washington. Thank you, sir.
Lane Washington, you kick ass.
Yes.
I'm going to bestow you an imaginary award. You can't see it, but I hope you feel it. I hope you feel it. I'm just putting it around your neck.
Hey, I love water, so you get the water award. Okay. But look. Yeah, personalize all communication. That being LinkedIn, that being email, that being text. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you have LinkedIn, you know you get spammed all the time. Mm-hmm. It's almost an impediment. It doesn't take long. Just look at something that resonates with you. But seriously, you know, be honest. what resonates with you that you can speak your own thoughts, your own original thought in 2 to 3 sentences. It doesn't take long.
Yeah.
I do it as a practice myself, and I get amazed. I get people that'll be like, nobody's ever reached out to me, so I'm definitely going to take this call. So just try it. It works, I promise. Next thing, building. Tell me about yourself. So obviously at some point you're going to have to start talking to folks, right? And you need to get that elevator pitch, right?
Yeah.
And so when you're putting together the tell me about myself, I've heard some interesting ways that are done. And so I try not to be too rigid in this, but here's what I recommend for a framework as to how to do this. It is to look at your resume or your LinkedIn and then go down in chronological order as it relates to the role. So don't be like Kevin and talk about what you did when you were 12, because they don't care. Make it relate to the, no, I did that. True story. Because when he said, tell me about myself, I was like, well, let me tell you about myself. And no, they don't care. So as it relates and aligns to the role. And then
I have a horror story. I have a horror story. I have to tell you,
stories.
just to bring it home. So this is someone, I was a hiring manager. I was hiring for a CS role, like customer success management role for a tech startup. And we were tiny, so I had to do my own recruiting. So I was like wearing both hats, and I was doing a phone screen with someone. And I always I love the question, tell me about yourself, because it is so revealing in terms of your communication. That's why I asked that question. I had someone, it was a 30-minute interview. He took up 30 minutes answering the question.
Oh my gosh.
I tried to cut him off. I was like, just let me and what was so unfortunate was his resume, on paper, he was so good, but it just showed that there was a gap in communication. And I know interview nerves come into play, and I will coach people in an interview. I was always that person, but it literally cost him the opportunity to move forward. So tightening that up, like Kevin is saying, and making it relevant is so important.
Okay. The reason why I kind of identify is because I'm verbose by nature. And when I get nervous, I really start going around that bush, way around it.
Yeah.
So I can identify with tell me about yourself in the 20 minutes, because I like talking about myself sometimes, So I can identify, and sorry for that guy. But hey, that makes a good point. You could be the most qualified person on paper. You got to show up that same way, though. You got to show up. You have to be relevant, and you have to be informative. You have to be educational. You have to be interested. You have to be curious. There's so many attributes that matter more so than what is on that piece of paper that I would highly recommend you be when you show up.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. And then I'm going to end it on this note. And it's a more serious note, because this process is really hard. It's really grueling. It takes tons of time and energy. There is no job, people, that is better than you.
Yeah.
Period. As you as a human being. Okay. You have to give yourself breaks.
Yeah.
What I found through the job hunting process is it created imposters out of me, because I'm going for these roles and then you keep getting denied. So it can be difficult to stay on the path. So just remember, there is no job, again, that is better than you. Don't put your identity into doing this.
Yep.
It's just have fun. Just have fun. So that's my last one. And then if I can plug one thing here as number 6.
Yeah, do it.
Yes. Okay. Okay, listen, people. If you want a job, do you have an iPhone? If you do, or an iPad.
I'm left out. I'm out.
I know. I'm about to piss off a lot of people.
I know where this is going, and I know feelings.
That's why I'm kind of dotting it as I'm speaking. Okay. I'm sorry if you have an Android. It's coming. But look, there are clubhouse rooms run right now. I am involved in a clubhouse room that I was in earlier. It's called CH, Clubhouse Tech Careers. In this room is about 100 hiring managers, recruiters, founders, hiring authorities of all kinds. And what is happening is folks that want jobs are in an audience, and then they come up and they get to speak and they get to pitch themselves. And then you have 100 people that want to employ you, giving you resources. They're either like, hey, reach out to me. Let's get you a phone interview. Hey, reach out to this person. Hey, it is the fastest shortcut to a shortcut that is not LinkedIn that you could possibly have. I know I'm making some people not happy right now. I know. I'm sorry to talk about Clubhouse, but it's
a very sensitive issue.
It's a very sensitive issue on LinkedIn. I make a lot of fun about it in my content, a lot of jokes. The zillionaire, no. So those would be my tips for you today. Honestly, mostly and most informatively, get engaged and active on LinkedIn. That is the best shortcut to a shortcut to get the job that you actually want, not the one that accepts you. So if they
totally don't want to listen to anything else that you say, please, just get on LinkedIn, make that one step and start engaging. And you can start with Kevin.
Yeah. Yes. And start slow. Find people you like to talk to. Find, sport. If you like sports, search sports posts and then comment on sports posts. If you like art, search art posts, comment on art, and then just build that muscle little by little, and little by little, you'll continue to put yourself out there. I did, Jamal. It's true. You know it. Don't lie. I'm sorry, LinkedIn gods. I'm sorry, but I'm plugging Clubhouse. Okay, y'all should buy Clubhouse and stop the games, please.
Okay. So
no snarkiness.
So now we know what to do. Yes. But this is okay. I've been telling everyone that you are spilling the tea. So I think in my perspective, the thing that helps me so much is knowing what actually happens. How does talent acquisition, how do recruiters actually go out there and find people? How do you become one of the chosen ones to get to an interview?
Yes. So this kind of goes back to what I was talking about a second ago in terms of most recruiters are going to be utilizing LinkedIn Recruiter. It's just the best aggregator of information when it comes to people, period. Mm-hmm. And I mean, think about it. There's 300 plus million active users. There's only 1% of active people that post 20 times a day. That's another subject. Anyway, but so we utilize LinkedIn Recruiter. So the reason why I'm giving you all the advice in terms of making your LinkedIn as robust, interesting, curiosity filled, and all that as possible is because when I'm sourcing, I spend the majority of my time in there. And please believe that if I see your resume, I'm checking out your LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Because I just want to know that it matches, that it fits. Who you are on paper is who you are in the real world. So
confession from a hiring manager. Please. I hate looking at resumes because I find often the formatting is just so janky and people make the font so I can't read it because they want it on one page of paper and stuff like that. I literally if I'm prepping for an interview, I don't look at their resume. I go to their LinkedIn profile. I'm going to see what they're talking about.
Me too. I'm going to be honest.
I care way more about that. If you have gotten the interview, Kevin did his job. He knows that you're qualified. Now I want to know how you fit.
And Mushka, for just so you know, I could speak about myself for an hour or two. Just So again, on the behind the scenes, so I'm doing my sourcing. I'm in my search. Mm-hmm. I find I will export that to Excel, and then I'll start to do my research because I do research. I do not qualify people by persona. I actually learn about the person, the individual. So maybe I'm a little bit different there, but I don't go surface level. I dive deep.
Yeah.
So at that point, I'm usually just going to reach out to you via an email or a LinkedIn message, and then we'll start that process from there. But there's a couple pieces just in terms of the actual process that I just wanted to but just cover really fast. Yeah. Because when I was coaching clients over the last 6 months, these are a lot of the questions in terms of what's happening when this happens. Mm-hmm. So really, really fast. So this is how a job is made, right? A company has a need that is identified. Okay, perfect. Then a requisition is created. A requisition is just the information about a job, like its budget, the hiring manager, all the information that's related. It's just the crucial information that's housed. Okay.
Yeah.
That requisition gets posted onto on job board. You start applying. Those applications come in, and we'll talk about this later, people. So let's not start now. Okay. They will come in through an ATS. Yes, they will. We'll talk about that later, guys. Okay. At some point in between here of when you're applying, let's say you're moving through all these steps. The recruiter and the hiring manager usually will have a powwow. So they can figure out what's going on with this role, what their sell points, what's the budget, so on and so forth. So when they talk to you, they're prepared.
Yep.
From there, there's usually you'll move on to the phone interview, maybe 2. From there, you move on to the real interview, maybe 7. And then after
or 20.
that, or 20. and then the big pieces after that, there's then a debrief where all the folks that were interviewing come together to discuss your candidacy. Yeah. And at Amazon, this is the best part of the process, because I saw it done the right way most of the time. But it's a great time to wear, so that it's not just like 5 people that are just like putting in their notes and they're like trying to figure it out. They actually all powwow, get together, talk it out, delve it out, talk about the 3 interesting candidates, talk about the 2 interesting candidates, and then get it down to 1. So there is a formulaic process as to how we get to that 1 candidate. And then after that debrief, we get that offer out, and you either accept or decline.
Awesome. I just have to shout out to Sultan and Tiffany for keeping the party going in the chat.
Yeah, Sultan's my that's my guy.
I mean, I told you guys I wanted a party, so thank you for showing up.
Oh, can I see the comments? Oh my God, I can see the comments.
Yeah, I don't have to put them on screen. Know. I forgot to tell you. It's all my fault.
This is my
You've
first
been missing
time, guys.
The party.
I'm sorry. Yo.
Oh my goodness. So I'm putting them on because people like on LinkedIn and YouTube, you can't necessarily see each other. So like I'm just trying to highlight certain ones. And then I get confused and things start happening. Yes. I'm not good at running live streams. Let's just face that.
I love it.
Okay. So, and I see, just so you guys know, like for those of you who are putting in questions, we're going to like focus on all of the questions just to keep like, we have things that we want to make sure like Kevin gets through, and we're going to do like Q&A. But I have a couple more questions before we get there. So because you just talked about the whole process, and I'm especially interested in, first of all, actually a quick like detour question. You said like when you're sourcing and you're reaching out, what happens? Like, what do you think if someone takes a little bit of time to get back to you? Like, do you write off candidates who take more than like 2 days or something?
Oh God, I hate this question.
We could talk about like dual ghosting later. We can come back because I know that one is going to be a rant, and I know that it is on the docket.
You know I'm about to talk about that, girl. Okay, look. Okay, here's. Okay, yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. I know that everybody's not incredibly active on LinkedIn. I get that. So I can feel, because it's taken me time to get messages out to other people. So I can empathize with the fact that it can take you a little bit longer. The problem is the company I represent cannot empathize with the fact that they want to move people, and I mean quickly. So unless the hiring manager is like, hey, we're gonna we're not going at a fast pace. This never happens. Hey, we're just, let's just slow it down. Let's be slow about this. Let's give the candidates time. Let's make sure that they're all comfortable. It never happens. No. So since that's never going to happen, I highly recommend that, honestly, I'm not even joking. I've had somebody respond back to me in 12 seconds. That's not joking.
Amazing.
Yes. And you want to know how quickly I called them? 12 seconds later.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying, I'm just.
Yeah.
No, but like, it totally makes sense, because I know when I was hiring, like both in corp and in startups, when I finally got the headcount, it was so desperately needed. My team was being crushed. And at some companies, like one Fortune 500 company I worked with, if I didn't fill the role that like same quarter, it went away. Yep. So it was like, no, I like deadlines, people, let's do this.
So where I used to work, it'd be like this. Amazon would come to me. They'd be like, hey, we just opened up a fulfillment center, and we needed 87 people hired 2 weeks ago.
We need them yesterday.
Let's go. Yes.
Get them in there.
So just believe and just know. I don't know why I have this in my hand, but just believe and just know that when I reach out to you, it's a hot job, hot,
Yeah.
hot, hot,
Yeah.
and probably any other recruiter as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're going through, and I'm actually particularly interested in when you are sourcing and you're going out there and you're looking for people and you're doing outreach, like what actually makes someone stand out to you?
Yeah. So this actually tailors back to like the macroeconomic macro environment that we're in right now.
Yeah.
So we all looked up for the last year and we've seen what's happened. It's
Mm-hmm.
the shared pain that is the pandemic. It's the shared pain point of us all, right?
Yeah.
And there is an unfortunate thing that has occurred, and that is that millions upon millions of people, through no fault of their own, are unemployed.
Yeah.
Millions upon millions of people, through
Yeah.
no fault of their own, are underemployed. So your competition level is double, triple, quadruple what it used to be, especially for any competitive roles out there. So when I'm sourcing and I'm looking at profiles, because I do the dig deep and I don't do the surface level, what stands out to me as candidates, or excuse me, what stands out to me is the hows and the whys. So don't tell me, show me how. And then bring me into your life. Get me interested. Get me curious by telling me your why. I connect with stories. Everyone connects with stories. Think about 10,000 years ago when they didn't have this cool thing called the internet. How did people connect? Through storytelling. So you
Yeah.
need to be able to tell your story in a way that aligns to the role, but still keeps me interested in knowing about you, the person. Because guess what? The likelihood is you're going to work on a team. You're going to be working with
Yep.
people. You're going to be working with cross-functional partners. You're going to be delivering reports. You're going to be da 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 da, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so going back. So here's an example. So don't tell me, show me. Let's say you want to be a digital marketer. All right, digital marketers, let's get
Mm-hmm.
engaged on LinkedIn. Here's how you do that. How? You create content. Well, I'm just putting it out there as an example,
Yeah.
but you would maybe pick digital marketing articles,
Yep.
post them, and then
Mm-hmm.
put your own original thought leadership into what you think about it.
Yes. Yes.
And
Oh my
that's
gosh.
one great step to show how you do what you do.
That is, so I have a whole video on YouTube about the types of like LinkedIn posts that you can make to get started because I know it makes people nervous. And doing exactly that is so simple because like all you're doing is having an opinion, but it's showing where you stand.
Yes. Yes.
Like, and you're not reading something from your industry
Yes.
and not having and being like, I feel neutral towards this, unless it was a useless piece of content, in which case don't share it. And in the marketing world, if you're in digital marketing and you are not marketing yourself on LinkedIn, then we have a whole other bone to pick.
What you doing? What you doing? All right.
And you're getting a whole lot of love here, Kevin, from Mindy, from Tiffany, from
Hey,
Enrique.
Tiffany, we're going to church. People do buy people, Mindy. That is right. Enrique, hermano, ¿qué pasa? Jamal, my brother. Hey, I plugged you earlier. Your podcasts are dope.
Yes. And he totally missed it. So
And
it didn't
Sultan
happen. It didn't happen.
from
So
the
good thing that you just
UAE.
mentioned it there.
Love, brother. No, but so yeah, so that's one aspect. I mean, another is, if there's anything where you have projects that you create. So real quick again, when I got into Amazon, I
Yeah.
had no marketing experience whatsoever, no traditional marketing. I was still in school, trying to go from Pinocchio to a real boy. And the
Mm-hmm.
only way I made that happen was I created a t-shirt company from scratch. I started blogging. I created a website and taught myself how to PHP code in 2 weeks.
Wow.
I created a Google account and drove Google ads. I created a Facebook account and created Facebook ads. I
Yeah.
understood how to utilize Google Analytics. And then I created this into a project that I could show and deliver to people. And
Yeah.
then I just delivered it to my hiring manager and was like, hey, this is what I do and this is what I did. Can I have a job? And I got
Yeah.
the job.
Boom. So easy. No, I mean, there's like a million ways, even like if you're, and we'll come back because one of the questions that we have is around transitioning. Like you can start to build that up.
Yes.
But before we totally divert into that, one of the things that drives me nuts, and we're going to get into myths after this because then we can go full snark.
Please.
So the whole like looking for a job as a full-time job.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Kevin?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So when I first started, so in August, I failed to keep my job at Amazon, and man, I went full time. I went 10 hours a day full time, and I was burnt out in about a week. It took about a week. So what I did was I went on Google, and there's this really cool guy. I'm sure he's very influential, and I listened to him, and he was like, "Here's how you structure your day," and then I did it exactly how he said. No, do what works for you.
Yeah.
So what works? So everything I'm saying is what works for me and what makes sense to me. Okay. This is one of those things that you really just need to. You just need to not Google, but you just need to do what you think. You know, sit with it for a second. What makes the most sense? Here's what I mean. Okay, I'm on the West Coast, but I have remote. Like I want to do remote roles. A lot of the people I want to connect with are on the East Coast. So it makes a hell of a lot of sense for me to be up at 5 a.m. when they're up at 8 a.m. working.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, it might be possible that I'm not a morning person. So maybe I'm not at my best at the morning. So maybe afternoons are a better time for you to start. Start in the afternoons. That's fine. But just be smart about it and think about your target market and think about your competitive advantage. So here's my non-rigidity way of doing it. When I did 5 hours a day. And I started at 5 a.m. every day. That's 5 hours of active job searching in the different form and facets.
Yeah.
And I kept 1 hour at the end for a total 6-hour process. And in that 1 hour, I did a post-mortem of the activity I did for the previous 5 hours.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes. So I made sure that I was actually building on what I had just done. I could look at, the activity. I could figure out, okay, did this work? Did this not work? And then I could pivot and adjust and continuously improve.
This totally goes back to the learning though, like being a constant and continual learner.
Yes.
And like not just looking outside, but looking inside too. And like and even like when you're interviewing, having that self-awareness, in my opinion, I think it brings you far. That's just my opinion. I'd actually love to hear what you guys think about that.
Me too.
Now let's just that's enough. We're here for the snark, people. Let's do this. So there's about 1 million myths and misconceptions when it comes to sourcing and hiring. Kevin, tell me about some things that just drive you mad that everyone thinks are true, but aren't true.
Yes, this is perfect. I don't know if Aaron Riska, and if I'm saying your last name, I'm so wrong. I'm so sorry. But I'm gonna read something to you as well. It's the most amazing post, and it happened yesterday.
Awesome.
Okay, so the first one we're gonna talk about beating. Okay, look, people. Okay, the ATS is not an entity. Okay, it doesn't have a brain, doesn't think for itself. Okay, you can't beat it. It's not Michael Jordan. You're not about to play one-on-one for the basket. Okay, you're not about to hit the free throw. That was a layup. You're not about to shoot the free throw to win the game. Okay, so I just want to say that. Now I'm gonna read this because Erin said it was okay. I asked her previously, and I'm just gonna read this for everybody because it was the best post I've read in so long. Okay, here it goes. This is Aaron Riska, E-R-I-N, not Erica, Aaron, R-I-S-K. It goes, there is no tactic, okay, no trickery and no template that will help job seekers beat an ATS. These systems for tracking applicants are literally just databases, repositories for storing, sorting, searching for, and making sense of who is interested in and qualified for any given job. Now I'm doing this thing. Qualified being the operative word. This is for you, Dana. As in, start there. Meet the qualifications for the role as outlined in the job posting. Perhaps not every single one, but more than half at the very least. And most of those are germane to the job itself. Stop telling yourself that the system is rigged and built to beat, and instead tell the system and the human being who is using it and programming it, she didn't say programming, which qualifications you meet. Tell them how. Tell them why. Be specific. Be real, be relevant, and take heart knowing that candidates can't, won't, and don't beat the ATS, people.
Okay,
Look,
first
look,
of all,
you see this? Drop.
first, boom. Okay, best dramatic reading of a LinkedIn post ever. You need to have a uni award for that, because like they should just invent it and award it. There's no contest. Number two, I'm slightly offended that your favorite post is not one of my posts. Okay.
It happened yesterday. We connected, we clicked. I'm sorry.
So awkward. This is super duper awkward.
Super.
No, I mean like, so like I have worked with, I know recruiters who will set filters and filter people out through the ATS, but I mean, really, if that's the quality of people, like, I don't want to, okay, I shouldn't say this because it's mean, but like, I know that recruiters are very overwhelmed right now, and it is easy to rely on those filters or referrals or just going out and sourcing. But if that's the standard that the company is operating at, it tells you something about the company. And then you have to ask if that's a company you want to work for.
Thank you. So,
because I think anyone listening to this probably doesn't want to. I think that they're probably a little bit more on it than that.
And just for example, to that point, okay. So to the programming human part, right? Okay. So sure, there might be knockout questions, okay? But again, a human put that in. Good luck beating the human knockout question. Number one. But number two, actually, in the comment section of Aaron's thing, there was a great point about this. Let's say a knockout question was, if this person has an NDA signed, no, immediately rejected. But let's say that
Doesn't
NDA,
everyone go out the window then in this day and age? Or is that just tech?
With probably more tech, but within reason. That's fair. But the NDA, so this is the human issue and this is the company issue. The NDA has nothing to do with the candidacy, has nothing to do with him learning about the job, has nothing, like it has nothing to do, and it automatically rejects them. In this case, luckily the gentleman talked to the recruiter, they found out, they took his application out of the trash, and then he actually got to interview for it. But exactly as you said, if that is what is eliminating you, do you want to work for that company anyway? I sure as hell don't.
No, honestly, like, and this is the thing that I feel like it's easy to lose sight of when you are in an active job search. Like, they're not just deciding if they want to hire you. You need to decide if you want to work for them.
Yes.
And I feel like, and Kevin, I love your opinion on this. I feel like the more that you're like, I don't really know if I want to work for you, and you're making them work to convince you, they want you more. It's like, it's triggering their scarcity mindset, but also like it is 100% legitimate and valid. Like, and confidence is contagious. And the more, if you're in the position where you're like, oh, I'm interviewing you as well, and you have that level of confidence, that's going to give them confidence in your abilities to be the best person to offer the job to.
So the best candidates out of the debriefs, here's what would happen. When we get in the debrief, and these very experienced interviewers would get in there, the ones they loved were when the candidate asked just the same amount of questions as they did, because that showed engagement, that showed interest and curiosity, that showed that they dived deep. They went a little deeper, 1 mile deep and 1 inch wide, not 1 inch deep and wait, you know what I said. So to that point, to that point, I forget what I was saying actually. To that point. There's my, and it's too bad for everyone
listening, because it was going to be so awesome.
Wait, what was the original question?
It was, we're talking about like the myths and the ECS and like, are bots going to eat your resume?
Sorry, I forgot what I was. I was on a tangent.
I forget all the time, and it's so.
But can we talk about the hidden job market really fast?
Yes, I was going to ask you. I was waiting for you to stop talking, because I was like, Kevin, where is it?
You think
breaking news?
Is it under my book? Like is it in my
Yeah.
phone?
No, and this drives me like absolutely stark raving mad. And this is guys, this is like a therapy session now.
Yeah.
Kevin, is
Please.
there a hidden job market?
There is. Okay. There is. Here's the misnomer.
Mm-hmm.
When I see posts on LinkedIn, like the 3 I saw this week, that say that 70 to 80% of jobs are in the hidden job market. Huh? Where's your evidence? Show me, please. And in fact, anybody that's listening, anybody that watches the live or the replay, anybody, hey, I got to call out. If you have a way that you can show me that this is true, I love different perspectives and I'm willing to listen. But here's the thing. 80% of the job market probably hasn't been hidden since pre-internet. Okay. When you didn't have the ability to just reach out
before dial-up.
Thank you. But on top of that, most large companies have these things called SLAs, service level agreements, to where they have to post the job. It's a requirement. It's yes. So now if the advice given, or if what we're talking about is saying, and I don't even think this is right, but 70% of the jobs start with an internal search. Okay. Like we're getting closer, but please stop scaring people with the fear tactic stuff. It's not true. It's not true.
Yeah.
And you know it.
Well, and let's put those two together. A resume, like an ATS, is going to be used and it's going to eat your resume, but that job is hidden in the first place.
It is.
What in the ever living F? Please explain to me how that math adds up. So the only ones that I have legitimately, I was a third-party recruiter.
Yeah.
I have been the recruiter and hiring manager, and I've been the hiring manager an awful lot. And the only jobs that I ever interacted in the hiring process for that were not publicly posted on the company's website were for executive roles. Or maybe if someone was exiting the organization and not everyone knew about it yet, we might post, like that might start a low-key search, but it would always end up posted. Now, in fairness, sometimes once it got through the internal stuff, especially when I was working at like Salesforce and stuff, it's like, hey, I have this friend who's perfect. So I might already have candidates that I'm talking to, but it was still posted. It was still on the company website. And I would still get good candidates sent to me as someone was like in an offer negotiation. They're like, we want you to see this person. Okay, cool. I'm still looking until like someone has signed the dotted line. So just
and to that, yeah. So, and that's like 8%, 7%, 6%, 5%.
Yeah.
Like it's minimal. It's very minimal.
No, and Stephanie, the $1 million question, why do people say these things? So I fell down the internet rabbit hole because I'm like, where's the peer-reviewed research? Because this drives me legitimately.
Oh, yes, you did the research.
I did the research. So I actually spent all the time, and I traced its origin back to some random career coach saying it in some publication, and all of them linked back to this one. So like, I don't know if it started before the internet. Like it probably did, like Kevin said, because maybe then it was more legitimate. But it was like someone threw out a number, and that's why you hear 70%, 75%, 80%, 85%. There's no consistency because there's no actual research behind it. Honestly, my opinion is it's a fear tactic, because who do you hear this from the most? You hear it from people who are trying to sell you a job search program.
Career coaches. No offense.
I will not take offense because and like I kind of like I felt bad because I felt like I was going after career coaches, and some people were upset with me yesterday when I posted the video. But like I don't think that most people. So first of all, I feel like some people like haven't fallen down the rabbit hole, right? Yeah, so like you hear this and it's just this generally accepted reality when it's not even a fact. So like I understand where the misconception is, and people just genuinely think that it is true. So like first of all, there's that. Like I don't think that everyone's actually being malicious, and I am a career coach and I know amazing career coaches. And I think that a lot of people benefit from career coaching and resume writing and interview prep and all of those things.
Yes.
But I it throws up a lot of red flags to me when people are really digging into this hidden job market, because it tells me that you're selling based on fear.
Yeah.
And if they have to sell you based on fear, it's because they don't have competence. That's my thought.
That's right.
You can disagree with me all you want, but that's
they lack confidence and they lack love of themselves, which that's a whole nother story. But can we just touch on the one last and very important 2021 one?
Yes.
Okay, real quick, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna
He's
get
serious.
real.
He's serious.
I want
Let's single.
This is serious face, Kevin. Okay, guys. Okay, look. Nice to meet you, Kevin. Okay. Look, resumes are not the best way for you to get a job. Okay. If we didn't cover that in the last 51 minutes and 19 seconds before that and haven't made that known, I really want to snarkily made it known. There are no words on a paper. Okay, there's probably a couple words on a paper like Harvard or, Target schools and stuff. There's a couple words, but mostly there's not too many words you're going to put on a paper that are going to super duper have me all interested and want to call you and work with you, because we have other resources, people. We got LinkedIn. I got your Instagram. I got other places I can go and actually see what you do, not what you put in words on a piece of paper. Okay. The only reason why I'm saying this is because in the last 6 months, I went through this very deliberative process where I've helped well over 450 people move on to the next steps. And oftentimes that started with a resume review, where I basically told them to please, after I just made their resume all incredibly nice, all feng shui, all good to go, interest, curiosity, all that, I would then tell them, now throw it in the trash, because it's just not your ROI. Pareto's law, Pareto's rule. What 20% of activity can you do for the 80% result? Please. Oh my God, please don't play. I'm so sorry to resume writers. I'm so sorry. Just Google resume. Google itself has an awesome, go ahead, please.
So
I'm ranting.
I think resumes are very important in one regard that no one talks about.
Please.
In the interview. It's your marketing document.
Yes, 100%. Well, that goes to the point. Tell me about yourself. Well, if you look at my resume, I started, I always tell me about yourself, because I always make sure they have my resume. Thank you so much. I was ranting and going off on a tangent. But yes, resumes still hold a place. What I'm saying though is don't let your resume be your only source of who you are. That's a better way. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. So don't just shoot them your resume and be like, oh, I'm good to go. There's got to be more. So that's what I mean. In 2021, things have just changed. Engagement has changed. People had more time than ever to get engaged and open and active. And again, just be on LinkedIn. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. So, and Amy commented that she has gotten jobs that haven't been posted through connections. Totally 100%. Valid. 100%. If you hadn't have been introduced, and this is why like connecting and being present and building up your personal brand and all of that stuff is so important. But if they didn't find you, they were going to post the role. Like, it's not to say that it never ever doesn't happen, but it's a much smaller percentage, and it's not a quantifiable percentage that most companies track and report on. And there's definitely no industry level information there. But I do think it's awesome that you have leverage networking, because referrals disproportionately account for hiring. I've worked for companies that did like 80-90% of hiring through referrals. It is important.
So that's, you just said referrals. So you hit on my last one.
Awesome.
Okay. Referrals are effective, but mostly only in one way. Okay. Not that referral for the dude who works at the company, not in the same team or department or anything. It's you getting a referral from somebody on the team you want to work on, who can put in a good word with the hiring manager, who can get your, resume or profile in front of the hiring authority. Not that referral that just puts you back in the resume list again. No. So just wanted to say
especially if you're going for like a FANG company, because they still like My husband
And
works for a FANG and he has referred so many people. And I think of all of the referrals, he's only had one person
because
actually
when
get
I was at
interviewed.
Amazon, same, I'd have people, and I'm like, yeah, but it's not going to be effective. I mean, sure, but it's not going to. So to Mindy's point here, where I am currently, probably 30% of the roles are not posted. I agree. I don't know exactly what it is, but I don't
Yeah.
think it's quantifiable. I just know for a fact it's not 70 or 80%. I don't.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know the metrics, but I know that.
Yeah. 100%. Okay. We're going to start to get to questions. And as Tiffany pointed out, this was lit. So it's going to take me some time to scroll through. But we had two that I wanted to speak to. I think we might go over an hour. So, Kevin, do you have time to stay extra?
I do, as long as this little 3-year-old right here doesn't jump through this door.
Okay. Well, I mean, if he does, like, I
I'm
personally
just
don't
messing with
care.
you.
And you might
No, I
be
was
able to
gonna
hear
say,
my 4-year-old outside
and
my door. So
everybody knows Juju anyway, so it would just be like a normal day in Kevin's content. So all good.
So first question. So Adam asked about, so like I'll condense his question because it was long, but he was basically
Adam
asking about
Fitz.
like, yes.
Sorry.
So
I love you, dude.
this
Okay.
question, like at its core, was about when you're job searching, should you go directly to the person who makes the hiring decision, or should you be trying to go to the recruiter?
Yeah.
Which is better.
Yeah. So actually, and I can give you guys a good tip on this one for LinkedIn. So do not go to the recruiter. I have 250 messages that I'm behind on. I suck. I suck at communication. Most recruiters suck at communication. Juju. Most recruiters suck at communication because they have, I mean, while at Amazon, you might have like 80 requisitions. You got 200 candidates. You got all your emails from your cross-functional partners.
Yeah.
You got your manager. You got your team. You got all the candidates that are already in the pipeline who are working on offers, or they got tons going on. So no. So here's what I recommend you do. Go on LinkedIn. Go to the search bar. Search whatever the company it is that you want, and then search the role. Okay, and click people.
Yeah.
And click. Okay, so that's one way. So that's how to find those people. The second thing, if you want to find people that are hiring, that are not recruiters, same thing. Type in on the search bar hiring and the company, and then click posts. And then you will see all the people that have listed hiring in their posts.
Dude,
And
that's
a majority
such a good hack.
I stole it. So for the record, most of this is not me. This is me sitting in Clubhouse. I said Clubhouse again. That's right, Tiffany. This is me sitting in Clubhouse. No, exactly. And listening to smarter people than me, which is what my jam is. So one more time, search hiring, search the company or the role, and then click posts. And it'll drop all the posts that have who's hiring. And then I highly recommend you connect directly with them. And then here's one more last thing. Okay. Whenever you see a job that is posted, if there are less than 10 people that have applied, or you can apply within the first hour it's posted, you are going to the top of the list. Do that.
Boom. Cool. All right. We have a question from Frank.
Frank.
And this was when we were talking about doing kind of like proof of concept work, like what you were doing. So if there's not a featured section on LinkedIn, like where do you show off those projects? Like how would you recommend if someone is basically prototyping work? How can they like showcase that?
Yeah. Posting. Like really.
Just do it. Just do it.
I know.
I mean, you can even like, if you're a tech person, like you can set up a simple website as well. If you're in an interview, like, I mean, I would even go so far as to say, like, you could even just like, I mean, in the past, like I've included things like that. I was running a blog on my resume, because if it's relevant, even if it's a personal project, just put personal project and then describe it.
So cool. So I learned Tableau. So they do visualizations, right? Tableau is one of those tech stacks that a lot of people need. You're a BA, whatever. So I had my Tableau website. I put my Tableau website on LinkedIn. When I was a digital marketer, absolutely. Create, it can be like $5 to $7 to get a website address, and it costs maybe like $10 to do the hosting. Do the cheapest version, get you cheapest version, get you a WordPress, and then just put your projects on there simply as a repository, a database for those things for people to go to and check out what you do. But I do, to Frank's point, I do often like to take people offline, off of LinkedIn, because I can curate that space a lot differently and a lot better for my audience. So if you do utilize a website, guess what? You can get real creative. So if you are in any tech, if you're doing any coding, I mean, this is the best place to utilize it. But for any non-tech thought leadership, look, get posting, start small. Okay. Don't, if you're not comfortable putting yourself out there, say things that you feel like you'll be comfortable with. And then little by little, I'm telling you, that muscle will build and you'll continue to post, but you'll get your thought leadership out there so that we can understand how you're thinking. If there's one thing I can tell you from a recruiter's perspective, out of all the thousands of interviews I was involved in at Amazon, it's that we want to know how you think. When we ask you a difficult questions, it's not to, I was going to say the F word. It's not to, it's
like are we allowed to? It's like, let's keep it to a minimum instead of dropping F-bombs every 2 seconds like we would naturally.
It's not, so it's not to mess you up. Okay. It's not to mess you up. All right. I'm done.
I'm still scrolling. So like, there's so many chats, you guys, like I'm struggling. So like, I'm going to keep on scrolling. Okay. So there was another one that actually came in on LinkedIn, or not on LinkedIn, on YouTube. And it was a question about, so when you're in a job search and you've decided that you want to do something different, you want to transition into a new role, how do you deal with that on your LinkedIn profile?
Oh, good one. Carefully. So let me give you one tidbit.
Okay.
So the first thing I would do is I would make sure that you are open to opportunities on your LinkedIn. And here's why. Because if you're still employed, all the recruiters that work at your company cannot see that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it gets blocked. So nobody at your company is going to be able to see that you're open to opportunities. Yeah. Now from here, of course, be careful. So if you're at one of those companies, and I've talked to a great many people where your headline has to be very explicit, it's your job role and the company name, that's cool. So then I would find ways to utilize your about section and your experience section, which are super keyword rich sections of LinkedIn, where I can still find you as a passive candidate. This is going back to my earlier advice.
Yeah.
Get those 3 to 5 job descriptions, put them in word cloud, and find ways to litter those keywords in there. And by the simple fact that you are open to opportunities, you will get searched. Now, let's say you're transitioning to a completely different role. Then what you need to do is you need to find the transferable skill set that is within that role. And then you need to litter those keywords in your about section, in your experience section, in the skills section.
Yeah.
And that'll still do the same thing. So sure, we know you work at Amazon and you're a business analyst, whatever, and that's all you put. That's fine, headline. But I can glean the rest that you can also be a project manager because you indicated that you worked on these projects, So I can see the transferable skill set. So I hope that explains that.
Yeah. And if you're in between roles, obviously you can just set your headline to be the title that you want, like you should, and highlight the skills that you want.
Yes.
Like
Now, yes, if you're not at a company, absolutely. Whatever that target role is, you need to litter that throughout. Because again, it's Boolean search, it's keyword search. Yes. Yeah.
I say all the time, I'm like, so especially I made like a million transitions in my career, but like so many, like it's so fluid and so many skills directly poured. Yes. And sometimes they are the things that really make you stand out.
Yep.
And we underestimate that. And people are like, yeah, but like, it's not directly. So they think that I'm like asking them to lie. I'm like, I'm not asking you to lie. I do not lie. I turn bright red if I am telling a fib. It is the easiest. I'll start sweating. It's very embarrassing. And I know some people can get by without doing that. So and I am dead set against, like, I know some people that will tell you to exaggerate and things like that. No, do not do that. It is a bad idea. You will be exposed.
I'll find out.
It's going to come out. You're going to get blacklisted. Yep. Like, due diligence is going to show it.
Yeah.
Or you're going to get into a job that you suck at. I was going to say,
and then imposter syndrome will be real.
And then it's really going to suck for you. So it's not about lying. It's about like connect the dots, because it's like Kevin is busy. He's not going to figure out for you why you're qualified. He's just looking for you to tell him why you're qualified. Make his life easy, and he's going to be your friend.
Thank you. So if there's one piece of information, so for everybody, the easier you make the hiring manager's job, the easier you make the recruiter's job for them to glean the insights and information from the data you provided so that we can know if it translates to you getting this job because you're qualified. The easier you make that connection, tell me the how, the whys, the whats.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
And like little bonus sprinkling, if you can tell, like if you don't just tell them why you're qualified, but like why they should be scrambling for the message button to talk to you specifically. Like, why are you better at this? Like, and I'm not like, oh yeah, like people are better. No, we're all the same and all of that stuff. But like, what is unique about you? Like I harp on about UAQ and I'll chew your guys' ears off another time. But like, why are you uniquely awesome? Why should a company be lucky to have you? And the clearer you are in that, in your search is going to make it easier.
What is your competitive advantage? That's right.
Totally. You can call it whatever you want. It's the same thing.
That's right.
Okay, so Jennifer had a good question. So is it not true that only 2% of people are hired through posting?
I'll be honest. I see that. So that came through a Glassdoor. Glassdoor did a scrub of all their job postings. So and I will say, within the industry, Glassdoor is known to provide pretty solid data.
Yeah.
But at this, oh gosh, how do I say this? I used to work at Amazon. Okay, so I get it, right? Data for data, metrics for metrics. You know, everything is data. Everything. I get it. But let's just say this. I don't know if the 2% is right, but I would guess to think that it is based on what I see out there. I see people putting themselves out there, speaking and trying to get in front of the right people. The people that I see that are just putting in applications and just putting in their resume and praying and spraying, well, they're the people that have been searching for months and months on end, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Now, sure, maybe you get lucky. Maybe you aligned your resume with the keywords. You didn't go through the knockout. You got the amount of percentage keywords and you got through. It happens, right?
Yeah.
But be intentional, be deliberative. And at the end of the day, your words on a paper will never, ever, 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 ever resonate as much as this thing right here that I'm doing. And that's talking with my voice.
100%.
It will never. So talk with your voice. Try to get in front of people that you can speak with. Even if it's not the hiring authority. What I used to do was I used to treat it as 6 degrees of separation. Who do I know is going to hop on the phone with me at this company?
Yeah.
Okay, boom. Who can you connect me with? Okay, boom. Who can you connect me with? Okay, boom. And then by the 4th or 5th tree, then I actually got to the person. But it was deliberative and intentional.
Yes.
It ain't going to happen easily, people.
And that first call, you find someone who's willing to talk. When they introduce you, it's easy. It's like you can harass the F out of hiring managers who will not return a message, won't accept a connection request, but like meet with someone on their team or someone like around their team. Like there's ways to map in, like strategically network.
And then usually those people around the team never get reached out to. So when you get that personalized message, they're like, hell yeah, I want to talk to you about what I do because I love talking about myself.
Oh my God. And you're making someone feel important.
Yes.
And people like feeling important. And when I make you feel important, you like me. And then you want to help me out because humans also like helping. It's a whole psychology thing, unless they're like a psychopath or something. Now, Dan had a great question. And Kevin, we have talked about this.
Yes.
I put out a ton of content and Dan has awesome content. If anyone in here has not connected or followed Dan, please go and do so.
I got to check it out.
Super active. I love his content. He makes videos. I love videos. He says, okay, I put on a ton of content. Where's my job?
That's fair. We need to dive into that. I wish there was a solid, broad-based answer I can have for that. But when it comes to it, it's all about your strategy. It's all about your reach out. Who's the company that you're reaching out to? Are they hiring? What is that networking strategy? I unfortunately, Dan, I don't know your content. So it would be unfair for me to judge in any way, shape, or form. But here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll tell you. I have helped 41 out of 42 people who started creating content on LinkedIn. 41 out of 42 people get job opportunities. Did they all get the job? They didn't, but they got interview opportunities, okay, by putting out content.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say that it may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. It's a consistency and it's a commitment game.
Yeah.
It just is.
And it really like posting is really what you're doing is building a personal brand. It
That's
is
right.
more of a
Thought
long tail
leadership.
strategy.
Yes.
So like, and what me and Kevin talked about before was like, you can't say like, oh yeah, you post for 30 days and you're going to get job offers in your inbox. Like some people will and some people won't. Consistency matters. I think like, and I think that Dan puts out a ton of interesting content. I haven't, and we're like new friends, so I haven't done a full scrub. And I'm like, I haven't gotten time to stalk his profile yet. But I would say, like, just for anyone in general right now, make sure that you're focusing, especially when you're in an active job search, whether it's active, you're like asking your network for help and stuff like that, or if you're in more of a stealth secret job search because like you're trying to escape your toxic workplace. Make sure that you're posting authority posts, like what Kevin mentioned earlier, like share that article with your opinion, talk about the job that you do, use hashtags that people in your industry use, because that is going to help you appear to more people. That's really what you're trying to do. And when a recruiter looks at your profile or a hiring manager goes to look at your profile, they're going to know your thoughts and your ideology about the job. Like that was always what I was interested. That was what I was always most interested in when I did a LinkedIn profile stock was like, okay, like, what do you know? Because like, I want to make sure like that. And I mean, like, this is like such an offshoot. So sorry to bring it so localized, but I know that a lot of customer success managers or people who follow me, but like, if you're especially in a newer industry, a new role, UX, customer success, like we have all these new roles emerging, and that's something, or new roles emerging, if I could speak like a human being. As these roles emerge, and there's going to be more over the 10 years, like next 10 years as AI and automation comes into play, those aren't killing jobs. They're creating jobs that we don't know about yet. So think about that for a second.
But to real quick, if I can just answer to Dan. So number one, two things, Dan. So I will also say, right, you know, content marketing is an inbound game, right? So I would ask, what's your outbound game? Because it's marketing and it's sales. You got to have an outbound game with the inbound. And that's what we build. So with my clients, we did the marketing content, but then we also had a marketing strategy to email and mail people, right? So we created mail templates. So I would ask, are you doing that? Are you actively, you know, mailing people? When people react to your content, are you using the 6 degrees of separation? Hey, I thank you so much for replying to my content. Hey, I looked in your network and I saw this person. Could you introduce us?
Yeah.
So I don't, and this is not judging, Dan, because I don't know what you've done, but I will say I would be more than happy to sit down with you and kind of figure out what it is that you're doing and tweak what we need to tweak.
And you guys, we have the message string going on already. Now, Monica has a great question as well. What about your LinkedIn profile picture?
Super important. It is. It is actually, it's top 3 important thing on your LinkedIn. I will say honestly, and I will almost not. Oh gosh, how do I say this? Yes. Okay. I will almost not reach out to somebody if they don't have a profile pic, period. Number 1. And 2, it's just, I mean, think about it, guys. It's the one piece of real estate that is like you. Like you. So put it out there, you know, when it's your profile, you know, make sure that it's centered, make sure that we can see your face, make sure that the background is the background, right? I don't care about what's back there. I want to see your beautiful or your handsome face. That's it. So a profile picture is incredibly important. It's top 3 important thing that you have on your profile. And I would recommend that. Look, iPhones are damn near professional. Just make sure that it looks as professional as possible, which it can. I mean, you see this white little board. Like you could just take one behind the color of this wall. That'd be fine. But yeah, just think professionally. Think that we want to see your face, and then just make sure it's centered and right there in there so we can see you. It is incredibly important on your LinkedIn profile.
And I'm back with a new camera because
I see that.
So actually, it was one of the questions is like, Jennifer, what camera are you using? So I was using my DSLR, but I don't have an actual power pack for it. So it I guess I just tested the limits of its battery. And now we know that it's about an hour and 15 minutes, maybe an hour and 25 minutes.
And if you don't know, now you know.
But yeah, so if anyone is actually like an equipment nerd, it's just an old like Canon SL2 that I use, and
it's old little thing.
I'll let it up with a ring light. I mean, I do YouTube, so like cameras are important. Just a couple of like the other thing, like, and actually my friend Diana had a great post. So she shared how you can use Canva, like take a selfie, make a good light, do it in natural lighting.
Yep.
And then if you have a pro account, which is like $12, you can remove the background. So you don't even have to worry about your background. And then you just put in like a color or
I have an easier way.
Okay, cool. Let's do it.
Okay, here it goes. Go to this website. It's amazing. I just figured it out. Just found it out. It's called remove.b as in Bravo, G as in golf. And it's so simplistic. I wish I could show you. Okay. Remove BG. You just press that upload image button. Bang. Okay. You go to your photo library. I got a little green there. Okay. Choose. And then.
Yeah. So easy.
And then it puts no background.
Boom.
And then you click the edit button, and then you can put whatever color background you want. They have cool little ones. I mean, yesterday I was in the safari. The other day I was in the ocean. One day I wanted a black screen. Other day I wanted a pink screen. I mean, have fun with it, people.
Oh my gosh. Do you do this with Juju too? Because my kids, they love playing in Canva. Like when they are doing school from home, as soon as school's done, they're like, we want to make a picture. So we have like the craziest things. And I sometimes wish that I posted their picture on social media because the pictures the mind of a 4-year-old is fascinating.
It's more like Juju takes my phone and then he takes weird ass pictures of things. And then all
from like great angles, and you're just like, WTF is happening here? Like, is this an ass or an elbow? Like, I don't know.
Yes. That's my guys. Juju. Love you, boy.
Detour. All right. Monica had another great question. So how can you get ahead of the game with investment in technology? I don't know how to say Malau. Does LinkedIn courses help? So I think like when it comes to like job search courses and stuff like that, like LinkedIn courses can be very helpful. I think just make sure that like you follow I recently got burned by a LinkedIn course. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to be honest. I've been
burned by many courses.
It's someone who's like pretty big, and I was very hopeful about it, and it was just an absolute waste of money.
Oh, you paid.
First of all, make sure that you follow the person's content, watch what they put out for free. Honestly, because a lot of them, their free content is the paid content. It's just organized better. So first of all, there's that. Honestly, like that's most people, because when you're buying a course, you're purchasing a shortcut because all of the information is already out there. You can Google it, you can hack it. You are paying for the express lane. So first of all, make sure that their content makes sense. Try out the tips that they tell you, see if they work. That's going to tell you if the content that's behind the paywall is going to be good.
Yeah.
The other thing that I encourage, and this is my big pet peeve in the career industry, is that there are a lot of coaches and career program creators who do not offer a questions asked, money back guarantee.
Yes, thank you.
They're like, you have to do the whole course and prove to us that you did the information and jump through 20 effing hoops. And you're like, no, your course sucks and I hate it and I want to like hurt myself just listening to your voice. I like literally like, so, and like, I'm not trying to plug myself here. All of my courses, it's literally like my FAQ says, if you just can't handle the sound of my Canadian accent, I will give you your money back. I will try. I will ask, the only question I will ask is there a way that I can fix this for you? Because I genuinely want to help. But if the way that I can help you is to just refund you, I don't want your money. I don't want that hostility. That is blood money and I don't want it.
I feel like you were like, hey, if you have a comment, put it in the about section and I don't care.
in the boot section. We've been there. We've hashed that out, Kevin. No, so like that's the things that personally, because I invest a lot in coaching. I buy a lot of
Yeah.
courses because I do what I do, and it would be crazy if I didn't. And those are the things that I've learned from both buying things that I've been so happy with, and I recommend to all of my friends, and I would recommend to anyone it was applicable to, and the ones that I'm just like, even if it was like $20, I'm like, I hate you right now. Why did you do this to me?
And
Who hurt you?
Who hurt you? No, but to your point, with the free resources, there really are so many free resources, guys. YouTube it. Like, before you look at a course, there are amazing people putting amazing free content. Again, I'm not going to keep plugging this, and I don't want to go crazy, but Clubhouse, I'm telling you
He
right
did
now,
it again.
there are thought leaders that
I should have like the censor button.
you should.
Like every single time.
And look, I'm gonna say a word antithetical to everything I've done or talked about. They drop golden nuggets, people. They drop golden freaking nuggets, and I don't even like that word.
Yeah.
But when the I just look at free content first.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work out, then yes, look at LinkedIn courses, Coursera. Heck, MIT and Harvard got courses out there for free. Okay.
You can get courses on lots of stuff, and they go on sale all the time for like $7, $10. So if you just want to, like, I do those, just like I listen to them like an ebook. Now, if you're looking for industry specific, what I generally recommend you do is start by, again, figuring out who in your industry puts stuff out for free, who's posting on LinkedIn, who's posting on Twitter, like where are your communities of practice? And once you identify that, are they on the C word that shall not be said? Find them though. Like who can you start listening to? Because then you can start to see who are they interacting with, who's commenting. Same thing. This same rule applies when you're networking. Same strategy. So start there. I know that there are industry specific like certifications, training courses and stuff like that. I think that's a personal decision. I think a lot of us go to that safe space of education, and we don't always need formal education that we're paying money for, because again, like a lot of it is out there for free. And I am always an advocate of like, I personally feel like get yourself to a point in your knowledge base that you can make decisions about where your gaps are so that you can invest accordingly.
Self-awareness, like you said.
The first coach that I started working with when I launched my business was like, okay, the thing that I really want to pay attention to right now, and I don't know about, and I can't figure it out on my own, was a media coach. I didn't know how to do PR. I didn't know how to talk to reporters. I didn't know how to do any of that. So that was like, okay, who can I find that can teach me this? That like I vibe with and all of that stuff. And I went and I did that. Then it was like, okay, like my next step was I want to do YouTube. I uploaded videos onto YouTube because I'm like, I've been wanting to do this for 10 years. I'm just going to do it. But then I was like, okay, I'm doing this and I need to learn how to do it. So I bought a course and it taught me everything I needed to know. And it's worked out.
Actually, I have a question for you on that note then.
Yeah.
So as a career coach, for anybody out there that's still listening, what's the pivot moment? So what's the moment of which you've been in the search too long? You've been running you've been stuck in the mud. You're not getting traction. At what point is it that they should reach out to somebody like Jennifer Brick?
So, well, I mean, I don't really do like job search coaching. I have a couple of courses, but you guys know I don't promote anything, basically. I'm terrible. So I think generally like it depends on a couple of things. So I think the more senior you get in your career, the more ROI that you're going to get by working with a career coach, because, as much as like your resume, like I'm working with a resume writer, you can probably do your own and get by when you're like in a junior to mid-level role. But once you're in a more senior level role, that marketing asset is really important. So that's where I start to push people more towards working with a resume writer versus a DIY solution. So like your stage matters, your resources matter. So like I do think for the most part that working with coaches is a fast lane. You're getting into the express lane because they know exactly what to do. They can tell you the steps. It's going to take a lot of like worry off of you, and a lot of wasted time trying to figure things out. So if you have the resources and you need it to be fast, that's a good time to be like, okay, like I'm just going to do this.
Awesome.
If you find the whole thing just really overwhelming,
Yeah.
like you were talking, and actually like this is something that nobody asked, but I'm going to like come back to, was informational interviews.
Oh,
We
yes.
talk about them all
Yes.
the effing time. People are like, what is this?
Yeah.
And they don't want to do them because they're like, I'm scared. I've never done one. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to get one. What am I supposed to ask?
Yeah.
And Kevin, tell me what an informational interview actually is.
So here's how I handle an informational interview. I honestly and only care about knowing the person. I am there to be interested, to be curious. I will. So, okay. So when it comes to the role, of course, I'm going to do tons of research. I'm going to come in there feeling like I can answer just about any question that's going to be asked of me in terms of what's going on with the company, the mission, the values, any projects, things that are, being worked on. So I have that information, but I do not intend to deploy that information, because when you go into an informational interview, it is not about you. It's about them. Okay? It's not about you. It's about them. So don't go in there with your questions about how you're going to get the job, because nobody's trying to get you that job. They're just there to learn about you too. So oftentimes it's just two people that should just be there to chit chat. And so why people have issues with it is because people suck at chit chatting. And I know, I get it.
I'm an introvert. I know.
And I get that. So find ways to have interesting conversations that don't have to do with work. So let me give you an example. My dad, who's been in career coaching, or not, he's Jesus. He works for the state. He used to be in the military. Now he helps military transition to other jobs. He's been doing it for 15 years.
So cool.
We'd sit down and we would have these informational interviews, and we would talk to the point as long as it took before any professional question got asked. 45 minutes to an hour. Okay. We would have 45 before one question about, hey, you got this role. Hey, this is. And so practice that. Practice just being a human being, thinking about the person, caring about the person. And then after that, if you guys connected, then maybe the second time you guys talk, because you had such a great conversation the first time, maybe then you introduce some of your likes, some of your interests, some things that you're curious about. But it's still not asking them for anything. Don't go into it asking them for anything. Okay, I could talk for days on this.
Oh, no, like go in giving. And Ariel had a great post about this today. And I have a video on YouTube. It's called The Non-Gross Guide to Networking, because I am a hardcore introvert.
Yeah,
I am pretty shy IRL. Like my worst nightmare is a happy hour where I don't know anyone, because I just go drink in a corner by myself and like go on my phone.
Hey, at the club, I was the dude two-stepping in the corner. And that was it. In the corner, in the back with my drink.
No, and so the way that I approach it, and like the way that I encourage a lot of people, is like, don't even think of it as a like informational interview.
Right.
You're just meeting people.
Right.
Start, and it goes back to being on LinkedIn. Find you have companies you want to work for. Start following people that work on the teams that you want to work for, and the teams that work around.
Yep. Okay.
So it's that you can set up that chain of introductions. You can filter on LinkedIn for people who have posted in the last 30 days, who's active. Follow them, comment on everything they post.
Yes.
Bookmark them, because LinkedIn's algo is kind of weird. Comment, like give your opinion, like give detailed opinions, be like, this is, and there's things that work well for people. So like, agree with them, amplify them, add an extra insight, ask a question, start that conversation there.
Yes.
Start off in the comments, build up to an actual connection, right? And then when you're actually at the point of being connected, and you feel comfortable in that relationship, be like, hey, like, I love your insights on LinkedIn. I love your thoughts. Like, are you open to have a virtual coffee with me?
And you know, the difference between doing this and personalizing your messages and going deeper is the difference between you having the job that you want versus just taking the job that'll take you. That's the huge difference.
Diana's like, is it
Diana.
still on?
Hey, Diana's awesome. She sent me this awesome
So
message.
bomb.
Yes. Hey,
She's
Diana.
like, she's my bestie.
Oh, okay. I did not know. Now I know.
And I adore her. We actually recently met. She did a whole career. So she was in the point at the end of last year. She's like, I just want to help. She like pulled off an
That's
entire summit with like, how many speakers was it, Diana? Was it 20 different speakers in
That's
3
awesome.
weeks?
I love you, Diana.
No.
Hey.
So
I
bomb.
love
She
it.
has a weekly show every Friday, 11 a.m.
Oh, I'm about to write this down.
Just go. Like, she gives out such great info, and like, she helps executives get roles. So like, she really like, she knows her stuff. And for all the smack I talk about recruiters who don't know what they're doing, like, Diana is like, she's the one who does. Like, she's like the dream. You want to work with her, like, seriously.
And just so you know, because the last, you know, I'm not sure how much time we have left here, but we didn't do one rant that I kind of want to like, because you just talked about recruiters.
Okay. Let's do it to tie this all up.
Perfect.
Pretty bow, because like,
I think you know where I'm going to go with this.
Let's do it.
Ghosting. Okay, look. Recruiters. So first of all, guys, I want you to know that this still happens to me. Okay. 3 days ago, I had this recruiter that reached out to me with an awesome sounding job, I gotta say. And she was super interested. And she messaged me twice in like 5 minutes. And I was like, hey, let's hop on a call today. Today. I messaged her back immediately. Okay, I'm available. Perfect. She puts me in the schedule. 1 o'clock when our time comes around, nothing. 1:05, nothing. 1:10, nothing. I send her a message. I'm like, hey, I've got about 2 minutes left before I know we're not going to have enough time to have this conversation. Nothing. Look, people, okay? People have lives. They have jobs. They have kids. They have dinner. They have soccer practice. They have basketball practice. They have recitals. They have instruments. They have things they need to do. I'm a recruiter. I get it. I have a calendar for my calendar for my calendar. I am so like, I so care about people's time and energy. Think about it, yo. I said, yo, empathize. Think about yourself. Think about the last time somebody didn't show up. And remember that, because every time you do that to somebody, you create a bad name for recruiters. And I'm a damn good recruiter. I'm really good at what I do because I care about the human, because I really care. So care more, be cognizant of people's time and their energy. And when you schedule something, if you can't make it, just send a message. It's totally cool, because, you know, we're all people and we're all humans and things happen. That's all I'm saying. Done.
Stephanie, who she dropped off now, but she had a great post about how job searching is just like dating.
It is
like so true on so many levels.
It is.
Now, and like, and I love that you brought that up, because I know so many people have gone through it, and like, you feel like it's you, and it's like, no, like, that's them. And again, think about it. It's a red flag for you. Because if they're remember again, and it's throwing back to earlier in the conversation, you have, even when you're in between jobs and you need a job because bills gotta get paid. Like, I'm not pretending that money does not come into play here. And every person has this different,
That's right.
You know, we all have different places that we're at with that.
That's right.
No matter what, you are still making that decision about the company. And if that's how they're treating you in the like first date phase,
Yes,
early courtship, how's it going to be when you get married?
And I can actually bring that full circle. So she actually reached back out to me 2 days later.
She
And
did.
she did.
I am scandalized.
And let me tell you, I really empathize with recruiters because I know your schedule. I know how crazy it gets.
Yeah.
And honestly, 9 times out of 10, I would have responded and took the call. But here's what she said. She said that unfortunately, LinkedIn didn't alert her to the time that we scheduled. And so she didn't catch it. So I was like, okay, so your utilization of technology and reliance on technology failed you. Yeah, I still don't want to talk to you. Because what's to say it's not going to happen again? It's going to happen again. And then you'll
Yeah.
make an excuse. I don't
Yeah.
look, I don't do excuses because all excuses are going to be valid. Cool.
Yeah.
Just be a person. That's all. Okay. I'm done.
100%. I can't think of a better place to leave this off.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Just
We've been going
down.
for an hour and 35 minutes.
I know. So like, just FYI,
I thought it was like 10 minutes.
I can't believe that there's still people hanging. You
There's
guys
still
are like,
people here?
yes. I mean, I'm sure that they were just staying for the snark.
Oh,
But
I
oh my
figured we were
God,
talking about
everyone
ourselves.
everyone who's here, I love you.
I
love
effing love you.
No, so this is like, we don't acknowledge this enough, especially when it comes to our jobs.
Hell yeah.
Or even if you're, even like, I know some of you are just here like supporting friends. Showing up and being present matters. It matters so much in your career, in your life. And anyone, like, especially like if you have been on for 1 hour and 36 minutes with us, please drop an emoji, like fire
amazing.
for yourself, because that commitment.
And so encouragement and support, to your point. I'm still a human being with this. You see this thing inside? It's my heart. And right here is my soul. And that's what I'm all about. Like, that's all of me. I deal in heart and soul. So when you guys come and you encourage and support, like, I'm getting goosebumps inside my body right now because of, oh my God, how impactful that is. That's why I show up for my people. For Jamal, if you have a podcast, you LinkedIn Live, I show up because I know how it feels when people show up for you. So Dan, Diana, Amy, Cindy, Jen, Bernard, Fahad, I'm going to miss people. Cole, Jamal, Tiffany, Sultan. I'm going to miss everybody. Like,
oh my
I
gosh.
can't,
Seriously.
excuse my language. Can I do it one time? Can I say this?
Do
one
it.
Time? Okay.
Let it loose.
I can't fucking tell you guys how much I appreciate the hell out of you. I'm not like, this is not hyperbolic. You guys mean everything to me in this journey to us becoming a better people as a society.
Yes.
Thank you, community. I love you guys.
No, so awesome. And like, and just behind the scenes, when we first talked about doing this live, it was like the hard part was going to be keeping it to an hour. So thanks for chilling with us as we just blew that out of the water. Now, I mean, should we hang out again? What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Like, let us know in the comments. And I mean, so Chelsea like needs to hang out with us. We have to figure out some way to have our Snark Squad because she, like, if you guys don't know Courtney Robertson, you need to. So if anyone hasn't already followed Kevin, get onto LinkedIn, go to his profile, click the follow, click the connect, whichever one you feel comfortable with doing. Go through his posts. So on his profile, go to posts, like, or activity, go to posts and scroll through, guys. Like, you will not regret. And make sure when you're there to give him some love, give him some likes, give him some comments, not just because he's awesome and deserves them, but also because it's going to tell LinkedIn that you want to see more of him in your feed. So it's going to do its job. And when you open up that app, he's going to be there for you.
So to tie it back, last 2 minutes, to tie it back, guys, the reason that this happened right here is because I got engaged on LinkedIn and I got active. And I saw Jennifer's content, and she puts out amazing content. She's an amazing powerhouse connector. She's an amazing career coach. She puts out amazing content. And so when I engaged with her content, I knew that I wanted to have a relationship with her, right? So I made sure that my contents were effectual and she would see them. We took that relationship to the comment DM section, and then we started communicating there. And from there, we were just people, right? We were just trying to know each other and build something. And then just human. And then we saw the mutual snark, the mutual smartassness, the mutual love for people and trying to actually help, right? And then from there, you get this. And so honestly, guys, I just, you know, in everything we say, I know I do a lot of smart things and funny things and all that, but I can't tell you the power of connecting with people, building relationships. One person equals one outcome, guys. One person equals one outcome. And if you like, if that's your daily goal, if as a job seeker, one person, one outcome, if at the end of the day you match with one person, you've done your damn job. Thank you, Jennifer. You're amazing.
Kevin, thank you for hanging with me. This was so much fun. I loved every single minute of it. This hour just, it felt like it flew by. Oh, wait, it was an hour.
It was like I was talking with my best friend. I appreciate you.
Well, again, thank you so much for coming. So guys, I am shutting down the broadcast. Again, high fives, hearts, immense amounts of gratitude for everyone who came and hung with us or is catching it on the replay. If you're on the replay and you actually listened to this whole thing, I like extra appreciate you if you're watching the replay for this long.
I'm so sorry. I'm verbose. I'm sorry, guys. I can talk and talk and talk and shit. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So, and then that's it. So thank you, Kevin. Thank you, friends. And you know, where to and to be just
follow Jennifer.
See the
do the same. Check out her post. She's just as snarky, just as funny. Show her love. I love you guys. I appreciate it.
The recording. It's on LinkedIn and it's on YouTube. So, and I'll be sharing and I'll send the links to Kevin so he can share as well. Thanks for asking, Naveed.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Super appreciate it. So yeah, it'll be up. I don't take it down or anything. I know on LinkedIn it gets hard. So we'll send you guys to YouTube probably. It's the easiest way to discover it. But yeah, again, thank you so much, everyone. I hope everyone has an awesome rest of their day. And actually, I have one challenge. This is totally off the cuff.
Yes. Me?
Because posting matters. If you're here, and especially if you're looking for a job and you've been a little bit shy about posting, make a post about what you learned in the session. Tag me, tag Kevin. Please. You are not going to post and just hear crickets because we are going to be all over it.
And then chances are my amazing, awesome network will be over it too.
Yeah. See? Okay. All right, guys. We will see you in the post. We will see you in LinkedIn. We will see you on the YouTubes. Have an awesome, awesome, awesome rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you guys for making it easy. Appreciate you, Jen.